Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. I can take any nonsense from Olori Naomi. I know why. But the one thing I will never take is nonsense from this thing. They said, if this does not stop, I will leave this marriage without looking back. I will not bother about what anyone has got to say because this has got to come to an end. They said Ebony is blowing brimstone and fire on the Ooni of Ife and the surrogate mom, that she's very upset. She has been crying the entire time as we are hearing if the information is true. So now, if this information is true, they said Ooni of Ife had an emergency meeting in the UK. And since Ooni of Ife, since the birthday and everything, the birthday was a lot. Too many events, prepared to mark the 50th birthday of the Ooni of Ife. Ooni of Ife lined up programs, projects, and all of that, which he has done. And everyone is congratulating the Ooni of Ife. And we all at Dela Ramak also still congratulating the Ooni of Ife because no matter what, this king is a very great king. He's done well. 50 years of his life on earth by the grace of God. He's been a great achiever. And he has done well to touch the lives of people. Now, without digressing, now, you know that since all of this event happened, the first trip Ooni of Ife had to make to the UK, Ooni of Ife had to make that trip. Of course, it was an emergency trip. It was, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even planned. It was not a planned trip. Ooni had to make that trip to return back almost immediately, like a day after, okay? Just a 2-day trip. Now, you do know that during the birthday, a lot of people came. People came from across the world. People came from the UK. People came from the US. People came from Canada. People came from all over the place to be part of that great event of course, the Ooni of Ife's Golden Jubilee, right? And so people came from all over the place. Now, one of those persons that graced the occasion happens to be the surrogate mom. Now, if you have been following the trend of events, before God blessed Ebony with a child, Ebony had become a little desperate. She wanted a child. And so because the baby wasn't forthcoming, because if you heard her testimony, she also said that she and her husband have been looking for a child for a very long time. As a matter of fact, she went ahead to say that they had twins, 2 girls that they lost, okay? Now, they said at some point when she became very desperate, she wanted to go through surrogacy. And surrogacy, of course, we do know that I'm going to explain this for those who do not know. I observed that most of Delarites are very educated people, and but there are still a lot of people who may not know. Surrogacy is when you cannot have a child for medical reason. You use your eggs and your husband's egg and have another woman carry your baby for you for 9 months, and that child is given birth to. The child is born with your DNA and that of your husband and not the woman who carried the science has made that possible, okay? So now she wanted to go for surrogacy, but unfortunately, it wasn't something that the royal family wanted to buy into. They were not even going to even welcome it. And before she came from the UK with that idea or proposition, she had made arrangement with a lady. I'm not going to bore you with the story. It's a long story if you're just joining the channel now, okay? I see comments where people say, okay, so where is this coming from? Where is that coming from? I can't begin to explain it all over again. You might look for the video in the channel and watch so you can follow, okay? Appreciate you. So Ebony made arrangement with this lady. And when they brought the lady to Nigeria, they said the Ooni of Ife's family didn't want that, and so they didn't buy the idea, and so that did not work. But Ashley made that arrangement. Ebony made that arrangement without knowing that the surrogate mother's interest also was different. The surrogate mother's interest was to be with the Ooni of Ife. That is, if this information we are hearing is the truth, because this is the information that we are hearing, and I have made it very clear to you time and time again that these are not first-hand information. These are speculated, alleged, rumored information making the rounds on social media. So, without knowing that that surrogate mom's interest was different. So, at the end, when that did not work, Ebony now found out later what happened. Now, this surrogate mom happens to be one of the women that they say is coming into the life of the Ooni of Ife. They said this woman had been able to sustain her relationship with the Ooni of Ife and probably made the Ooni of Ife to fall in love or like her or something. And Ooni of Ife is ready to bring that woman in. And Ebony does not want that at all. So what happened is that during the Ooni of Ife's birthday, the surrogate mom was here. And if you know about the surrogate mom, she doesn't just go. When she comes, she stays for 2-3 weeks and all of that. So you know the surrogate mom also is in the UK. So when Ooni of Ife was to make this emergency trip, they said a surrogate mom followed Ooni of Ife to the UK. Now, here is where the problem lies. Now, when Ooni of Ife was to make this trip, they said Ebony's people prepared a lot of stuff and package for Ooni of Ife to carry. You know, Ooni doesn't travel alone. He travels with a lot of people. I think for one trip, Ooni goes with like 6 people. You have those people who are doing that grum for him with due respect. You have the ones who are beating that bell for him. They do it even abroad. Yes, they do it. In the UK, they do it. They have a lot of Yoruba people and all of that holding the umbrella for him and all of these things. So Ooni of Ife travels abroad with a minimum of 6 persons, okay? From Nigeria. Now they have arranged everything for Kabiyesi for them to carry to Ebony in the UK. Now, you know Ebony gave birth to a baby, and usually there are a lot of things that a new mom will be wanting. One of the things that we heard, if the story is correct, that they actually arranged, they said they arranged 5 liters of what they call kernel oil, original kernel oil. They said the woman who made the kernel oil lives there in Ife. That, you know, Ebony has an NGO that she's using to touch the lives of women, children, and all of that. And the popularity Ebony has also is coming from that NGO, the fact that she has been able to breathe anew into a lot of people in Ile-Ife, and so they love her as their own, right? Now, this woman who donated that kernel oil, they said is an Iyagba that Ebony had helped before, helped the grandson to get a job in Kabiyesi's, you know, the shop there, what do you call the mall in Ife. So that granny has been very, very grateful because the mother to this boy passed on when the mother was giving birth to the child. And so the granny took care of the child. And the granny is very old now, but she has managed to put the girl through secondary school. And because of what has happened, the girl, Ebony had given that boy money to go and write jam and prepare while the boy is waiting to go to the university that Ebony said Kabiyesi will sponsor the boy. Ebony decided to put the boy in that mall so that the boy can walk. Now, because of all of these things that Ebony did, the mom, that granny, Iyagba, was so happy, celebrated when Ebony gave birth to her baby. And so the Iyagba prepared kernel oil, what do you call 5 liters for Ebony. So that was one of the things they were going to take to Ebony. And Ebony's eyes was on that kernel oil because Ebony wanted to share it among her own people who are new mothers, who are Yorubas right there in Ile-Ife, in UK. Only for them to abandon the Ghana must go and everything, that all Ebony's things are spices, so everything they abandon them in Nigeria. Now, this has never happened. This will not be the first time that these people are carrying things from Nigeria to give to Ebony when Kabiyesi is going to the UK. But right now, what they are hearing from what where people are saying, they said the Ghana must go of Ebony stuff, one thing, just disappeared. They Ooni of Ife's, the maiden said they put them in the car that was supposed to drive with Kabiyesi to the airport where they will fly. One thing, and all of that. Ghana must goes disappeared. 3 Ghana must goes. Now, Ebony is feeling that it's because of this surrogate mom, that the surrogate mom may have, purposefully removed those things knowing that they were for Ebony. Ebony said nothing like that has ever happened before, that this happened because the surrogate mom was traveling with them. And they said this has been the wahala that has been going on left, right, and center between Ebony, surrogate mom, Ooni of Ife, Ebony's family, people who travel with the Ooni of Ife, they say everywhere scattered. This is what we are hearing, and Ebony said, should this continue, she will not hesitate to leave the marriage without looking back and let the world say whatever they want to say. This is what we are hearing, because they say Ebony is very, very upset over what has happened. Okay, this is what we are hearing, that if Kabiyesi will go ahead with the surrogate mom, Kabiyesi will have to choose between her and the surrogate mom. This is what we are hearing. If the information is true, I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.